Hello my beautiful people, welcome to your weekly general taroscope with me, Raphael from Reydiant Reality. It's an absolute pleasure to have you. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for joining me. So these weekly generals are the general energies, trends and themes. Sometimes world events come up, sometimes it's just about the microcosmic level, and sometimes the intuitive message sounds a bit more like a coaching spiel. So, you know, bear with me, stay with me and see whether you like it. I remember starting these probably about two and a half, maybe 3 years ago now, and it was so popular that people decided that they wanted it. So it's here because people seem to love it. So thank you so much for that. Before we start, I would like to bless my decks of cards with all forms of love, light, peace, prosperity and abundance. And I pray that the messages that come through are ultimately clear and concise, and they help you on your path to your highest vibrational good. So I am going to be really honest with you. Rafi is in a little bit of a funk this week. It's, you know, there's nothing particularly awful going on, but I am in a little bit of an interesting space. And I wonder if that's because of obviously the stuff that's going on in the world. You know, many empaths and sensitives, whenever stuff gets crazy out there, we tend to feel it, and you know, our intuition spikes, and so therefore the sensitivity spikes, and then the sensitivity sends everything else into overdrive. So if you are feeling it at the moment, I am truly, well and truly with you, and I truly hope that you are all okay. For those of you that are anywhere near some of the craziness at the moment, sending love and spelling you safe. That being said, this week's intuitive message was very interesting, and when it came through, I actually saw the face of somebody that I find quite inspiring, and it was like they were kind of cheering me on, going, come on, you know what to do, you know what to do. And the message that I took away from it was, it's time to invite your demons to dinner. I don't know if you've ever heard it. There's a song by oh, what's he called now? Hosea, or Hosea, however you pronounce his name. Really good artist, and he's got a song, and in the song is one of my favorite lines in a song ever. He says, don't you ever tame your demon, but always keep him on a leash, which I take to be and to mean, as long as you are in control of your spiky ball, you then tend less and less to chuck it at people that aren't deserving of it. And this really feels like that kind of message this week. It's like, whatever your challenges, your issues are, whatever your literal, you know, mental, sort of emotional, it's even spiritual demons are, this isn't about fighting them. It's not a week to deny who you are or what you feel. It's a week for you to sit down and invite those things in so that you can sit with them and process them and allow them to be, right? This is a week for you to allow yourself to expand. It's a week for you to be gentle and caring and loving and kind with yourself above all else, right? Before you go anywhere. And the reason being is, when you can give that to yourself at those deepest core levels of self, you then go on to give that to everybody else. Otherwise, if you can't give that stuff truly to yourself, everything that you give to everybody else is a pale imitation of the truth of that. All right, so look at me on my soapbox. You know, I'm talking to myself here just as much, right? So for your destiny card for the week ahead, the overarching energy, trend or theme is the Empress, right? The Empress for me is an energy of ease, right? This is an energy of ease. It's an energy of release, and it's also an energy of harmony. Now, we don't see, you know, on the wider world stage, there's not a lot of harmony going on at this moment in time. But on the microcosmic level, we can tap into that. This is also an energy of building, fertility, and growth. This is a time for us to tap into all of the juice that life can offer us, right? So if you're going to sit these demons down, wherever they are in your life, and you're going to get acquainted with those aspects of self, you cook a fucking feast, right? You make that dinner, that wine, everything that you're going to sit down and you're going to have while you're getting to know yourself at those deeper levels. You make sure that whatever you're cooking is the best food that you can get with the best ingredients that you can source. There's a sense here that whatever we're trying to build for our personal futures in the world, whatever the world itself is trying to bring into being, what is the Empress? A mother, right? When you think about the energy of the Empress, it's a pregnant woman. What happens Birth, oh my gosh, is traumatic to watch. I can only, I don't want to imagine going through it, to be completely honest with you. But it's not just that for the mother, it's also that for the baby. Something is being birthed, something new is being born in all of our lives and on the wider world stage. And unfortunately, birth is a painful, messy, yucky process that produces the most beautiful results. All right, so if you are in that space at the moment, this might be a week where you're having to get in the mud, so to speak. And like I said, if you're going to do it, make sure you cook a damn feast, right? If you're inviting your demons in this week, whatever that looks like to you, whether it's talking, whether it's having the tough conversation, whether it's, acknowledging your past, all of that kind of stuff. This week, be gentle with yourself while doing it, but make sure you are getting the most and the best. So how do we best tap into this energy? We've got the 8 of Pentacles. This is about doing the work, right? So this card represents work, but this is about doing the work. Interestingly enough, there's something with the hospitality and or the beauty industries that will be coming up this week. We got the Page of Wands. This is a great week for journaling and tapping into that. And it's also a week where there could be some sort of withdrawal, right? This could be a week where literally going into your hermit space. And it's funny because I promised myself I wasn't going to do this week. But the cards have told me that it's okay. So I'm going to... Right, I'm going to do a little bit of that. And this, one of the best ways that you can utilize this Empress energy is really getting into your physical body and utilizing the energy that is there, right? So whatever it is that you feel is pampering you, for some people it's sweating it out at the gym, for others it's a bubble bath. This is a week for you to really do the inner work, to quest and do the work on that inner level. And for, those of you that can sit and journal this week, you really want to tap into what's actually going on with you, who these wonderful aspects of self might be, and what they've tried to teach you or how they've tried to keep you safe. That's how I see it. Like sometimes our habits, our self-destructive tendencies, it's like, thank you, little beastie, you did wonders, you kept me safe, you kept me alive, but now I need you to pipe down and fall in line with everything else, all right? So nurturing and nourishing yourself in all of those ways might be one way forward. And for our insight cards, what's going on behind the scenes that we might need to be aware of? This whole business with the wider world stage, I feel, is going to have a revelation about the reasoning, about what's going on with it sooner rather than later. I really kind of feel like this is because originally, and I'll put my hands up, I didn't think it was going to go ahead, if I'm honest. I thought a lot of it was posturing. What I believe now, I put my hands up and say I was wrong on that front, and I'm really gutted that I am, because it's, shit for the entire world. But I feel like it's not going to be like some of the other stuff that we've seen that drags on and on and on for years. I feel like this is going to be quashed fairly quickly. For our insight card, we've got the 8 of Cups. That's the second 8 that shows up. 2 8s, new knowledge, new information coming to light. With the Strength card, 3 8s, because the Strength card is number 8. 3 8s actually represents marriage. So for those of you that are in partnerships, marriages or long-term commitments, this might be a week where seeking sanctuary in your relationship is not going to be possible until you do the inner work. For those of you that are maybe married to the job or married to something else, right? This is a week to check your commitments. And then finally, we've got the Hierophant card. Very, very interesting. The 8 of Cups is drunk. No surprises there. All right, that's not happening. Let's see. A little bit of a funk. But hey, you know what? I'm not afraid to show my human. I'm really not, because that's all I am, and it's all I've ever professed to be. Kind of reminds me of the, the meme that says Aquarius getting ready for work, and it's like an alien with a human suit on an ironing board. Totally apt, by the way. It kind of reminds me, like, when people say like, oh, your fly's undone, or like, for me it's like your human's showing. That's how it feels today, right? Now with that Hierophant card, establishments, with the Strength card, and the Eight of Cups, I get the feeling that this is going to be quashed relatively quickly, and I kind of feel like that's because the heart of the world or the heart of people is in the right space. When it comes to those of you that are married, whether this is to a person, a job, a thing, a place, there's a lot of consideration here, and with those two eights, it's kind of like there's new knowledge or information that's coming in, and maybe this is on that personal level that will get you to see things in a very different light. And when it does, it's going to allow or enable you to walk away from or rebalance the emotional energies that are out of whack. Can't wait for that to happen. And then for the new moon message for all of us, because there's going to be a new moon on the 2nd of March in Pisces. I gotta say, I'm really here for this new moon. It's quite a nice one. That being said, you see this, I do not, and this isn't, we're not even that close to it at this point, but I don't fare too well at new moons because I was born quite close to a full moon, and it's something that I've observed probably about 3-4 years ago. I was like, why do I always feel like this at certain times? And I would check. No doubt it's a new moon. It's because my energy is the complete opposite to that. So at the new moon, I tend to look a bit like Dracula. And at the full moon, I tend to be a little bit bouncier, like the Tigger energy that I carry. Your new moon message is the gate 62 and practicality. This is about attending to business. This is very much a maintenance kind of energy. And so this new moon is really asking you to do the spiritual maintenance so that you can continue with your practical sustenance in some way, shape or form. This is asking us all to tend to things that need to be tended to. With that said, I wish you an abundance of all of that good stuff. Thank you so much for sticking with me. I apologise. I know this video is all over the place, but so am I at the moment. So I wish you all of the best. Have a great time, day, week, weekend, etc. And I'll see you soon.